Why don't we just start from the beginning? For people that aren't familiar with the case, tell me what's happening.
Okay. She was returning to Cody from Florida, um, and with her boyfriend and her two kids, and she went missing along the way. Her boyfriend returned to Cody with just the two kids without Katie. Um, the Adam's mom, Adam's boyfriend, saw the burns on the baby, and so she took the baby into the ER to get her looked over. And then she called the mom, Mona. I'm the stepmom. She called Mona to let her know that Katie's been missing. So Mona notified authorities that her daughter was missing. Um, and then the search kind of went from there. Um, then came out footage of where she was last seen in Texas Arcana, and that was October 5th, 2023. There was a police officer, and you probably can see the videos, approached the car and saw them staying overnight in the car, kind of camping out, kind of asked them what they were doing, and then left. Um, a couple of days later, as he texts or crossed over into Texas, there are license plate readers and video cameras that showed him making a violation. I don't know what it was, but they saw him, but they didn't see Katie in the car. And he wasn't going in the projected direction back up to Cody. He was going down to Texas. So that kind of brought suspicion. He returned to Cody with the two kids, and then that's when he noticed that his mom noticed that they were missing. We already know that Katie is deceased. There's lots of evidence that points to that. What we're wanting now is just to find her. It just, you know, we want some closure. We have the guy in custody. He got put away for ammunition charges because he's a felon and he had some ammunition on his persons. So he's in prison right now. So we have 7 years to really, that's how long his sentence is, to really find her
Hmm.
so that he can move forward with any kind of legal proceedings and know exactly what happened and get some closure.
Oh,
And
so
this struck home with me watching the Gabby Petito Netflix series because it brought everything to the surface. And I just feel like we need to do more. I feel like the story needs to get out more. I don't care what kind of history anybody has. Nobody deserves to die, especially in the manner we think that she died. Um, it's been covered. I feel like it needs to be covered more. Um, because with the Gabby Petito doc series, you feel like they did everything and they moved fast and they found her. And they didn't even have their guy really. He, ended up committing suicide. Um, we have our guy, and it's been 2 years, so, well, probably a year and a half, October 2023. So yeah, not even 2 years.
yeah.
She's been missing. And we like the story to go viral. Gabby Petito recorded her whole journey, and that's probably why it went viral when it did. And people acted on it fast, and it just the whole chain of events seemed to like just flow. Um, sometimes I feel like family doesn't want to bring forward story just because of her history with her, past drug use, and she was trying to get away from all that when she went to Florida.
So was she's originally from Cody?
Yeah.
From Cody, moved to Florida. Is that where she met this man?
No, she knew him and Cody, and they were dating, and he was following her and threatening her, and she wanted to get away from him. So she went to Florida. I helped her pay for gas in a hotel to get her to Florida to get her away from this guy. And then she has kids with him. So when the kids wanted to see him, I feel like she caved in, and he came to Florida, and he brought like a trailer to haul the stuff back. And anyways,
So
they
how long was she in Florida?
she was there, let's see, August, so October she went missing. So I think it was the springtime, so maybe 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Florida. She was staying with her mom. Um, and they were looking for means to pay for gas to get back to Cody
I see.
because business was better in Cody. He
Right.
needed. So
So he goes out there with the trailer. They pack up. They start to work their way back to Cody. Tell me a little bit more about the burns on the child. Where was that stop?
that's exactly what they're trying to find. They're trying to find a fire pit where she could have fell into the fire. Um, so between Texarkana and Arkansas, they're looking for a fire pit. Any evidence of her, any, I don't know, clothing, or I know they set cadaver dogs, and I feel like they're getting close to finding her. I've last heard they're within, like, they believe 20 square miles of finding her,
Hmm.
and they're doing search parties, and they have cadaver dogs. And I believe efforts are being done, but it's been so long. I just feel like after time we lose momentum, maybe.
At what point did you realize something isn't right here? Is it when you couldn't reach Katie or when he didn't show up in Cody with the kids?
Yeah, I live in Idaho, so I got a call. Actually, when I first heard about it, it was through a family member, but also Cody State Daily did an article about the smell of putrefied blood. And we're like, gosh, that's serious. Nobody told us about the evidence before we read it in the news.
That's what they found in his car?
Yeah, that's what the reason they broke into his car, and they caught him red-handed with a gas can trying to burn it. He said he was out of gas, but they thought that he was going to like torch all the evidence. But there was bullet casings in the door. There were shells on the door, shells on the floor, and casings and bullets in the door. And they found two of those, but one of them they didn't. So they might have suspected that one may have been the one that you know hit her. Um, I mean, there was a bullet hole in the door, and he tried to put gray tape over it to make it less noticeable.
Hmm.
But um, I mean, some states have video surveillance, like Texas, and some states just don't. So I know with Gabby Petito, hikers, and there were other people that saw something strange and then reported it, which helped them find Gabby Petito. So I feel like any information brought forward is going to help.
Right. And do you think that she was shot and killed there in the Texarkana area?
Yeah, and not only, I mean, we all feel that she's gone, and even the judge told Adam in his sentencing that he know that he killed her. I mean, we don't want to ruin her case in any way or persuade the public so it gets thrown out. It's just, I don't know the legal system that well
Hmm.
to supposed to say, not supposed to say. Um, but at this point, all things aside, we just want people to come forward and help us find her. So I feel like somebody knows something and they're just keeping quiet.
Hmm.
You know, the kids currently are with Adam's mom. She's an oncology nurse. I've had a little communication with her about the kids, checking in, making sure they're okay. I've tried fundraising for the kids, and um,
Are they in Cody?
they're in Cody, and they're with family. They know Stacy Johnson, the Adam's mom, really well because she would watch them.
She was trying to get away from him. Had they had a rocky relationship?
Yeah, he was pretty abusive. He was a heroin dealer. Um, it was just toxic, their relationship. When they get together, they would leave days on end and, go do whatever and leave the kids with Stacy. Um, but aside from all that and that illness, dysfunction, whatever you want to call it, um, she was a good mom when she was there and present and, you know, trying to support the kids. Adam got a house for him in Cody, and they all lived together. And she was a stay-at-home mom, and she loved her kids. And it comes down to looking at an illness versus reality and what happened, and not placing blame, but just trying to figure out, you know, the best parents can have kids that go astray. So, um, we just I I met Katie when she was an adult, and I went on a trip with her to Yellowstone, and she really was very tentative and loving, and I got to see a little side of her I've never seen, and I was happy for her because she was with this guy that seemed to love her, and they had a kid together, and I'm like, oh, maybe she's going to have a cute family, and they're going to be happy, and they're going to raise their kids, and things are going in the right direction for them, not realizing that drug Adam had this drug use, or this illness of addiction. So, but anyways, those are the parts that we really don't want to focus on or
Right.
look at. We just want to get answers. But
Right. Right. I wonder if they've tried to float some sort of plea agreement or something by him to
yeah,
find the body.
yeah. The plea agreement did bring his sentence down for the ammunition charges. And I don't know what kind of plea agreement it was, but he only has 7 years in prison. You
Hmm.
know, he can get off before then, like off out of the prison before then.
Right.
Um, but the relationship, he could still have that relationship with his kids, where they'll never have a relationship with Katie. Or, you know, I think our involvement as a family on the Ferguson side is showing up for those kids more. And maybe, I'm trying to raise money for them. Um, Maybe help them with college someday, just to give them more opportunities.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
um,
I'm glad that you're speaking out because you never know who might know something or see something, as you mentioned with Gabby Petito. It was, the
oh
youth who
yeah,
were driving through the park. Somebody could drive by today or tomorrow and see something unusual, and that could be it.
yeah. I just hope it's not like the longer we go without the little details, like what you're saying, the less information we have to find her. So, you know, I just bawled after that Gabby Petito doc series. I don't even know if I should have watched it because it feels like as a parent that we failed like to find her. Um, you know, there are private detectives, there's the FBI, there's all these people looking for her. Um, and I'm clear out in Idaho, I know Gabby Petito, they put up posters, and, it's such a long range from Florida back to Cody. It's a long drive.
Right.
So it's covering quite a bit of area. The last video of her alive was in in Arkansas,
Hmm.
and videos without her in the car. And he tried to cut out the car seat. He went on to after he went from Texarkana, he went up to Colorado to visit a friend to get like a saw to cut out the front seat of the car. So we know that he's just trying to bury the evidence, and
Hmm.
we just hope that a hunter or a hiker or somebody. I mean, the ideal situation for Gabby Petito would be that they found her. There's a lot of domestic violence in Gabby Petito's story, which I feel like there's a lot of violence, and also Katie and Adam's relationship.
I imagine you want him to say more, as
Oh, yeah.
did everybody. You want him to tell all.
Down to the prison. I think he's in Texas. I want to go down to the prison and talk to him and face him and say, hey, look, all things aside, tell us where she's at. Let us have some closure.
Mhm.
And then if anybody knows anything, just, like I said, just to help us out and give us information, and look back to those videos from the date October 4th through November 2nd. Any videos of you going through Arkansas, pictures, and just maybe look through them if you still have them, to see if we could catch a little clue.